Hey, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Compass for Men. In my life, I had three obsessions. The first one is combat and war. It's like a very masculine thing. It's like strength. It's like violence. It's a reality of life. I mean, we have to hunt to provide proteins for our tribe. We have to defend our tribe against violent neighbors. And no matter how much wishful thinking you do, it's a fact of life. We have to eat, we have to protect, we have to provide. And these are masculine traits, and it's a masculine energy. Now, of course, I cannot let go of sleep because I am also really obsessed with sleep because I've had a lot of troubles with it, and I know why. And this channel is one of the mediums in which I will explain a lot more about it, but not this video. So the second obsession that I had is like with a very select few of girls that I always fall in love with. It's like they awaken an energy in me that nothing else can, that nobody else can. It's like I care for you so much. I want to be with you. I'll fight for you. I provide for you. It's like a reason for existence. It's like a summoning. It's muse. It's inspiration. And it's a feeling that is better than any drugs. And it is what I want in my life. Now, the third obsession is psychology. I've always been a heavy thinker. I've always asked a lot of questions like, why is this? How is this? Why do people do this? Why am I like this? I also have a very strong emotionality. And I suppose being a heavy thinker and being a sensitive, emotional person, it combines in psychology, which is basically the study of psychology. And I have my 10,000 hours in that. So I do consider myself a master. But every master knows that he's an idiot and that there is an infinite amount of knowledge that is still to gather, and that he made many mistakes and that he will make many mistakes, and that I have a lot of flaws myself and that I have an ego and all of that stuff, which is why both combat, both the special girls in my life, and both psychology are things that I will do for the rest of my life, and I will never control or be a full master of it. Because the more you know about something, the more you realize how stupid you are in it. It's a very interesting thing. Now, so the entire video, this is about neediness. I want to talk about neediness. Especially toxic neediness. It is like both with a job, but it's especially in the area of love and romance and infatuation. It's basically you give away everything to this person, your dignity, your respect. It's a toxic neediness that I'm talking about, because as human beings we are social creatures and we need each other. We need our family, we need our friends, we need our lovers. And our lovers are very rare. I have noticed that already. And especially for young men, it's really hard to find love and affection and sex. Now, I do want to say this, like in nature, in the wild, the pups, the hatchlings, the babies, you have to realize that it's only like 30% or less. Like for example, with birds, it's like 30% survives. With wolves, it's 10 to 20% depending on the circumstances. And all of that has a huge impact on it's like evolution. It's cruel, arbitrary nature of life. Now, even if you are part of that 30% that survives and makes it into adulthood, men are the experimental, exposable breed. I mean, men are the strong ones of the species, but they're also the exposable, sacrificial, experimental part of the species. And most men just don't get access to pussy. That's basically it, because women are highly selective. They have to make sure that their genes are upgraded, and it's also very dangerous for them in many different ways, like diseases, pregnancies, social reputation, violence of the males themselves, which is why females are highly selective, and good for them. Doesn't mean they're angels, doesn't mean they are victims, does not mean they are chaste, doesn't mean they are innocent. But we can understand why men have a harder life in that area, for sure. So I have a tendency to be really selective with girls, but once I like a girl, once I care, once I get to know her, once I like her personality, I lose it. I fall for her completely, and I'm gone. And because there are a lot of areas in my life which are not in order, I have a tendency to become toxically needy. Neediness. Now, what does that mean? It means that I kind of get the tendency to like leech on, to latch on, to be dependent, to be blaming her for things that go wrong, to be waiting for things, to be hoping for things, to be threatening and ultimatums like, if you don't choose me, I'm leaving, I'm going for another one, blah blah blah. And although I don't want to do all those things and I don't want to say those things, it's this emotional body that forces me to put it out. I suppose not, like, an attractive healthy male is basically independent. He is a symbol of strength, and he's wild. He cannot be caged, which is also ultimately a female fantasy, because the females are the sexual hunters and they are the sexual gatekeepers. And the females, they want to chase. The females, they want to get the man. And you also see this in many other animal species, that it is this entire marriage, monogamy, courting, romanticism, it's a human invention. And it's not real. But it is the way it is. I mean, it's a bit real, of course, after all. So the response to neediness and toxicity is to take full responsibility for your life, and of course to be a Zen master and to let go and to overcome. But we're not perfect, we have our flaws. Full responsibility means like, this is my life, these are the cards that were handed to me, and I have to play with these cards. I don't choose which people want to work with me, I don't choose which people want to give me a job, I don't choose which girls fall in love with me, and I can't force it. Forcing it is really, really bad, and it never works. It creates bad environments and bad feelings. I need to take full responsibility, and I cannot blame the world. I cannot blame my colleagues. I cannot blame her. Or I cannot blame girls in general. It's like independent of their behavior, whether good or bad. It's like, this is my life, these are my cards, and I have to do it because nobody else cares. And we know this, and it's okay. It is okay. To be a little bit needy is okay, but once it gets too much, it becomes like toxic, rotting neediness, and that's a sign, like, stop, there is something wrong inside of me. Which then brings me to my shaky masculinity. I'm young and inexperienced, and I don't have my shit together, and that's okay, and that is okay. What I have to do is I have to build and work on myself every day, and it's gonna take years before I get to the point that I'm a healthy, attractive male, that I'm a healthy, attractive man, that I'm a healthy, attractive man. And I have to keep pushing, and there will be bad moments, and there will be romances, and things will continuously break apart, fall apart. I'll be backstabbed, I'll be abandoned, I'll be cheated on, because that is just the way of life, and that is just how people are. Which is why friends are crucial, because friends are really unconditional, I think. You know, I mean, it takes a lot of effort to destroy friendships. I know, because I've destroyed a lot of my friendships because I wasn't in order myself, and because I was angry and sullen and frustrated and resentful. And my friends were good friends and they did nothing wrong, but I didn't, I wasn't in a good place, I suppose. So, for example, real masculine power is in the ability to have options and choice, whether it's work, whether it's girls, whether it's friends, or cities to move into, whatever. Like, moving cities is the most easy thing in the world. Like, you don't like your place, you don't like the weather, just move. Like, you have your skill set, you can make money, get a shitty job and work yourself up. But true masculine power is in the ability to walk away from a bad situation. True masculinity is in independence, in strength, self-reliance, resilience, and wildness. And those are true masculine traits because we are the experimental and exposable brand. We are stronger. We can take more. We're not as fragile. I mean, without the proper training and initiation, we become like fragile simps, which is very dangerous, but I'm diverting. So real masculine power is in the ability to walk away. And yeah, that's it. So I'll see you in the next vid.